Whenever you are an artist or you're a brand of any kind, you have to stay consistent even as you evolve. You can't look like you're following a trend. From me and KP's own thoughts on this topic of trend jacking or news jacking, because they can be two different things. News jacking is taking a news of the day, right? Like, okay, so like this one company I was talking with a few weeks back, when not to get too deep in politics, but when Biden dropped out of the race, right? They're like, oh, Biden just dropped out of the race. We got to strike while the iron's hot. And I'm like, how are you going to strike while the iron's hot when this artist's new song that's getting ready to release is talking about asking a girl if you can touch her ass? Like, how does that have anything to do with Biden dropping out of the race? Maybe if Trump got accused of grabbing somebody's ass, you can run with it like that, right? But like, Biden just dropped out of the race. How are you going to see why the iron's hot? And so they started running this thing, vote for, and then they put the artist name in there or whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, you're clearly just trying to clout chase off of some current events. You're newsjacking. Like, what the fuck? That's stupid. This artist is nothing political at all, ever. And now all of a sudden they want to have some kind of campaign style looking thing, right? See, look at KP's reaction, right? Exactly. Exactly. And so, if you're making trap and club music, and all of a sudden you got a post out that's like, oh, vote for so-and-so. And I'm like, but it's not election time. I'm unstoppable, like rolling, cracking out the mows. Never mind the road, I go whichever I'ma go. Nothing stop me though, rain, sleet, summer, snow. I'ma grind. What's up, y'all? Hardcoast here with the Music Making Sense podcast, where we come to you every single week to talk about music marketing, branding, and how to have success, real success, as an independent artist. With me, as always, is the dark arts rocker, the dark-hearted stalker. Your grandma's most hated, but your mama's most satiated.
That's right.
The one, the only, KP.
Oh yeah.
Did that off my dome off that one, man. That was off memory, 100%. So I fucked that up a little bit.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. We got a great episode for you as always. And as always, even though they've been giving me a fucking headache today, we are powered by
Riverside FM.
Hello.
Riverside FM. Yeah, I don't think it was my internet, but I was sitting here trying to like edit a bunch of clips today, and it just kept like freezing on me. It crashed like twice. I updated my Chrome extension, and it helped a little bit, but it still kind of gave me a pain in my ass. And I'm like, yo, come on. I'm actually sitting down here. I got like 4 hours like block. I'm just like fucking pounding shit out, right? And like actually where I'm not having to get up every 45 minutes or something, and do something. And I'm like, come on, man. Don't be fucking freezing on me and shit. And so, but like I said, I updated my Chrome browser. It helped a little bit more, but you know how tech is, man. Sometimes shit just fucking goes sideways. So, but other than that, I mean, Riverside's great. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's wonderful. We use it for this. I use it for all kinds of other, marketing. Like anytime I have like a one-on-one call with somebody or a group call or something like that, and I want it recorded, because I always like recording calls, not just like to say gotcha to somebody, but also like it's mainly to like, I record the call and then I send it to them. That way I don't have to fucking repeat myself. Because that's like, if I'm trying to help you, I don't like repeat myself unless it's a follow-up question to what I already said. Then it's a different story, right?
Right.
But when I gotta like say the same thing 5 times, no. So, but yeah. So if you guys use Zoom or StreamYard or anything like that for any reason, stop. Use the code down below, the link down below for Riverside, and get yourself your first month free as well. And you support the show when you do it as well too. So it's a win-win for everybody. And then, of course, as you hear throughout the show, make sure you check out the sponsors. They got those down below as well too, and all that fun shit. But getting that housekeeping out of the way, KP sent me a pretty interesting video today. Over there. Oh, gotta do the thing. There we go.
Transition into the topic of the day.
Absolutely. So, excuse me. So, it's from Indepreneur with Circa and then the Android Jack.
Shout out to Jack for this, dude.
Yeah, no,
I swear
absolutely.
sometimes
Absolutely. So I had to make a comment on this video under my Apex Music System YouTube channel, but the title of the track is, or the title of the video is called "Leveraging Trendjacking in Music Marketing," and like I said, it's from Indepreneur. If you guys don't know about Indepreneur, go check them out. Music
Please
Making
do.
Sense podcast is the best music marketing podcast you could ever listen to. But whenever you're done listening to our episode for the week, go check out Indepreneur. They got some pretty interesting stuff. We talked about them on here before, but I did notice on this episode. Okay, so it's probably because most of the time I don't watch episodes, but today I just happened to just have it on. And as I was driving, I was watching a YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm the YouTube watcher. Just
yeah. He actually watches. Normally I just listen.
Yeah.
But whenever I turned it on, it was under. I have multiple different YouTube accounts. Because I have Music Making Sense podcast signed on my phone. The YouTube for that,
the Apex,
and the Gmail, the whole Gmail for that.
Right.
The one for Apex Music System, which is my personal company, and then another one for like my personal one, and that one, my personal one, has YouTube Red. So normally, whenever I'm checking out a YouTube video, unless I specifically need to see it for some reason, I usually just listen. I just turn the screen off.
Just kind of turn.
But whenever KP sent it to me, I started watching it. And then I started driving, and I tried to turn my screen off, and it didn't work, so I just kept it on. But anyway, when Jack was sitting there, he looked like an android. He wasn't talking like it, but he just was not moving. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker looks like an android.
And his hair, he's got that.
And his hair,
got that
yeah, he's got
dude.
That swoosh.
That hair got that swoosh. It's just so like funny.
He almost looks like the hairpiece on the Lego guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Jack though.
Shout out to Jack, dude. We love you over here, bro. We love you guys.
Absolutely.
Guys,
it's all fun. So feel free to make fun of us if you want.
Hell yeah, you guys can crack on us. I want to see what Circa will have to say.
if they pay us any mind, fuck.
Like, wait a minute. Did he call me an android?
Did he say I had Lego man hair?
He said Lego man hair.
Exactly, but y'all need to go check out.
We still love y'all brothers, man. Hell yeah,
absolutely,
check them out,
yeah.
Bro, so
go check out that video. I got it linked down below.
All
right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here really quick and let you know about my company. I know a lot of times we're sitting here talking to you about all the different companies that rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast, but I just figured I'd hop in here really quick and let you know about my company and the services that I offer. Now, my company is called Apex Music System, and you can find that over at apexmusicsystem.com. You can find a full list of all the services that I offer over there in my company. If you're a podcaster or you have an online business or you're an artist, I can help you out with anything, all right? I got services such as website building, email marketing, video editing, social media management, ad management, creative content, strategy, consultations, and I can help you out no matter what your budget is. Now that's key right there. I got great prices. Plus I have a wide variety of low, medium, and high tier services. So I can help you out no matter what your need is. So make sure you go check out my company over at apexmusicsystem.com. And, like I tell you every time, make sure you let them know that I told you about my company right here on Music Making Sense Podcast. So I know that this ad's actually working. All right, I'm going to shut up so you can get back to the show.
Yep,
full stack creative, yeah,
man.
absolutely. Indepreneur. I got the video link down below in the show notes and stuff like that. Shout out to them. But the topic they were covering was what the fuck was it called again? Trendjacking?
Yeah, trendjacking
is what they call it.
Yep.
Trendjacking or newsjacking is what Jack also called it. But basically what it is where you take current events, whatever's happening at a certain time.
I'm one of those people that is big on using those just for the
right, yeah, exactly. But then you use it in your promotional material for yourself as an artist.
Yep.
Now, I think we've talked about this kind of before, but
sort of. We touched,
yeah.
We touched, we did touch a pretty good base on it, but
yeah,
we didn't fully get into a discussion with it as we are today.
Yeah, we've talked about it off and on here and there and stuff, but in general, my personal perspective is, unless you are a political artist, right? Unless you're talking about whatever your politics is, whether you're KP's favorite artist, Tom McDonald, or whether you're like my favorite artist, Immortal Technique, or something like that, or Pac, or something. You know what I'm saying?
You see how he gives himself? Ain't that some shit, y'all? He gives himself some powerful, influential brothers, and he gave me the biggest Wonder Bread.
Tom McDonald is very influential.
Okay, you know what? All right, you know what?
In certain circles,
as much as I want to sit here and just spew all kind of venom on that, you definitely, from a music marketing perspective and business, you have a damn great, valid point.
Yeah. He just needs to fix his fucking hair. That's so stupid.
Oh my god, it look like goddamn string beans.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, yo, man, whenever I got out of the army in 2008, I grew my hair out and I fucking put micro braids in my shit. But I didn't have bald spots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went and I got it. It was like 3 different layers and shit like that. Like, it actually like was like, it looked like it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I actually looked, closer to Crazy Bone than Tom McDonald. You know what I'm saying? So it actually looked good.
You guys got to be careful with white people have to be careful putting dreads in your hair because it develops alopecia.
Right. No, it wasn't dreads. It was braids. It was like micro braids.
Even braids, even for you guys, it's just because your hair is so loose.
Thin. Yeah.
It's so thin. It's actually bad for y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I had a hard time washing it, man. My shit, like my scalp gets greasy quick.
It get greasy quick, yeah.
And so so like you couldn't scrub it, you know what I'm saying? Because then it would start being extra frizzy, like fast. And so like I was paying like $80 a fucking time to go get that shit done. I wasn't fucking the person doing my shit. And so like I actually had to pay for it, If I was laying down pipe to get my hair done right, then it'd be a different story. It'd be a different story.
Dude. Get to the
Anyway, this is my stress relief, motherfucker. Fuck you. I can crack jokes whenever I'm stressed the fuck out. But anyway.
Hey, man, we have fun over here.
Absolutely. But yesterday I had to just turn my phone off and take a mental health day. I just fucking played GTA and fucking kill people in there and save your life and shit. Hey, it's all good. God. I talked to my therapist about it yesterday morning before I did it. So that's what counts, right?
There you go.
Because I actually got into therapy now finally, and it's going to be on a regular basis because I'm not going through the VA. The VA is just covering the fucking bill. So I did the community care thing. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all that are veterans and stuff like that, everybody knows, except for like 5 people know that the VA is dog shit. There's 5 people that love the VA. Because like I talked to people I was in with, and most of them are like, yeah, it's dog shit. Then you got like that one guy's like, I never had a problem. I'm like, do you go? Oh, I go all the time. The fuck? How do you know? What? Let's go together. Goddamn. Like, fuck. They forget. They have amnesia whenever I mention my name. You know what I'm saying?
Depends on the state too. Because I know here, I definitely say here they are very good with veterans. I gotta say that. So it definitely depends on state.
Yeah, I
heard Georgia's not pretty good with their.
Yeah, I mean every state's kind of a dog shit, but you think it wouldn't be because it's federal. Like you'd have more, solidarity and shit. But either way, where the fuck? We're way off topic. Anyway, so newsjacking and stuff like that, right? I personally say unless you're a political artist, stay away from it because you're gonna look like you're just doing it to get attention. Whether or not you actually feel strongly about that specific position, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear it all the time with actors and actresses or other artists in the music scene. When they get on a specific thing, people will say, oh, just stick to music or stick to film or something like that, right? Because they're not always politically active. But if when Immortal Technique or somebody like him, you can think of a million different people, right? When an artist who's known for being political or talking about current events, comes out like the leader of Rage Against the Machine, right? Zach De La Rocha. Yeah, De La Rocha. When they come out and they say something about current events, people don't say, oh, go back and play music because they already know that's what they're about. I mean, Rage Against the Machine's whole thing was raging against the machine, right? Yeah. Literally. In Immortal Technique, his whole thing is anti-government type of thing, Pac and all these other people. Yeah, exactly. So, like, when they come out and talk about something...
Public Enemy?
Public Enemy, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people, yeah. But, if Snoop Dogg came out and said something, people were like, bro, come on.
But at
Go
the
smoke
same
some
time,
weed.
but
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
but
But at
hold
the
on, hold
same
on,
time,
but hold on. There's you got the street politics, so you got to think from, especially with and I'm totally with you with this, but with and I think we could get into this show. I
yeah,
think we could get into this as another topic, but
yeah,
there is a difference, like when it comes to how Snoop addresses like with street politics, like when he was in like with certain songs he had speaking about street life, NWA when they did come out with "Fuck the Police," right?
right.
There was those, but they spoke about it from a different perspective. Ice-T,
Mm-hmm.
he was very political, but he spoke about things from the West, about things that were going on in the West Coast, and how
Right.
the politics here is different from the politics in the Midwest and things like that. But I think that's a totally different
Right.
topic for us to get into.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be like kind of like Celine Dion coming out and talking about like racism or something. You're like,
But at the same
when
time,
have you ever talked about anything? You know, like you've never
Right,
been about
but
anything,
at-
anything at all. You know, type of
okay,
thing.
but at the same time, that does.
I don't know if she ever did, but I'm just saying.
Right.
It's
But
first
what
thing
I'm
like the furthest thing away from politics I thought of was Celine Dion.
Right. But the one thing though, and I feel like it's hard for artists because let's look at Drake,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You look
He
at
doesn't
that
really say
situation,
nothing
right? And he gets hammered for it.
for not saying anything.
For
You're
not
right. But
saying
if he
anything.
did speak, he'd probably get hammered equally. You know.
Right.
So it's kind of like a catch-22. So that's why I'm saying like
It's double-edged sword,
sometimes-
dude.
So sometimes not saying anything is better than saying something.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, it depends.
Depends.
I mean, but yeah, he looks at it from the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like literally, like the
Yeah.
bottom line of his checking account where it says available balance. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
You
Right.
know, so he's like, should I say
Contract
something?
Poppy.
Yeah, contract poppy, exactly. Like fucking
Corey-
Brain Man said that.
Corey,
Corey, yeah.
Corey.
Corey said that over at Brain Man. Yeah, exactly.
Shout out
Contract
to
poppy.
Corey, man.
That's what's up. But yeah, but at the same time, whenever you see some people who like Tom McDonald, right, all of a sudden just started getting political within the last year, maybe he personally started feeling politically minded for some reason, right? Maybe he finally hit the tipping point. Maybe for the last 7-8 years or whatever, he was keeping his mouth shut to kind of, you know, keep things on even keel. And then maybe he just like, you know what, fuck it, I've had
I'm
enough.
gonna say what I feel. Yeah.
Maybe that's possible. But
Or somebody could be
with the way
behind
he
it.
did it, teaming up with Ben Shapiro, makes it look like, oh, you're just placating, right? Whether he is or not, is the appearance. And the appearance is everything when you're trying to build a brand, you know? And so some people will say, oh, you tarnished your brand by blah, 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 right? By attaching yourself to this person or that idea or this group. You know what I'm saying? When you attach yourself to certain things, you could lose certain segments of your
brand and your fan
brand
base.
and of your fan base and of your following and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So if you feel really, really strongly about something and you're willing to do that, all means go for it. It's your life, not mine. However, what I like to say is, if you're not about that shit when nobody else is about that shit, then don't be about that shit when everybody else is about that shit. Because then you look like you're just following the herd. I'd much rather somebody stand out in times when nobody's speaking out than to just go along and look like they're going along, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Immortal Technique was one of few, right, really railing hard against the government, fourth branch, everything like that. I mean, fuck, even Rage Against the Machine called the Democratic Party Dixiecrats. You know what I'm saying? When they elected, because remember when they played that show right across from the 92 DNC or the 96 DNC, one of the two?
Yeah.
Right across from the DNC, and he was like, oh yeah, fuck all those Dixiecrats across the street, blah, 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 right? Like he was calling them out, like across the street. Yeah. That's some balls, right?
Right.
But like, they were about that shit. They're like, look, I don't care if you got a Democrat in in your name and your political party. You are not standing on principles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not, you're blah, 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 everything like that, right? And so, like, they always came out as a political band. Immortal Technique always was political. Pac, whoever, right? It's when people switch is when it doesn't always look the best. So I know that's kind of my point of view on it. What do you think, KP?
I can see where you're coming from, especially when it comes to the market as
Mm-hmm.
well, right? And when it comes to your like whoever you're part of the label you're part of or whatever, um, it does because like let's take an example of Taylor Swift,
Okay.
right? I think she's a great example of this because she has the wholesome, pretty much fan base of predominantly white girls, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
For most part. And even when it comes to her older fan base, when it comes to it's more the um, conservative white rule, or either upper class, middle upper class, even that finds her accepting, so she can, because she has that, oh, she's a role model to my kid, to the kids and
Yeah,
things like
she's
that,
like
right?
wholesome. She's not on
She's that
stage
wholesome, yeah,
twerking
she's
because
not
she
gonna
doesn't
twerk,
have an ass, stuff
right?
like that.
but 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 the moment she was able to the moment she spoke out about Trump, then you started seeing a totally different turn. Like, oh, whoa,
Mhm.
wait a minute. First of all, we're the ones who allow our children was accepting of you. What do you think
Mm.
about them? Right? They start using that sort of thing, and it's like,
There's that, and she went how many years without saying anything about politics, and all of a sudden did. That's
exactly
kind of what I'm saying.
right.
Whether or not she may have eventually just been like, I snapped. I'm going to talk about it now, but
Well, also
you can't
because
tell.
but also what started happening is that she's had fans of different races who
Mhm.
started calling her out on like certain guys she was dating. I forgot the one dude that she was dating who was a known racist, pretty much,
Mhm.
right? Fans of color, her fans, women of color who are fans of her, they started saying, hey, wait a minute, not Taylor. We're
Mhm.
part of this too.
Mhm.
So why are you allowing this person, knowing that you have us as a fan base as well, knowing
Mhm.
you've looked up, knowing you went on national television and said you've always looked up to Beyonce, right?
Mhm.
So that pressure of the thing is that pressure for artists is there,
Mhm.
regardless, even if they don't want to. Because
Yeah,
here's the thing, they're human, right? And they
absolutely.
become a person like Taylor Swift, your Beyonce, they become voices for people. And those people rely on them to be speakers of something that means something close and near and dear to them. A
Right.
cause.
And
Those
the
things
thing is
are
too
going to
is
happen.
that, yeah, and since you, like you said, they are people, and people are diverse in their thoughts and opinions,
Yeah.
especially like an individual like Taylor, and then her millions of fans.
Yeah.
They're not all going to agree with everything she says or does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then when that large majority of them, especially with social media, when they're coming out and putting up memes and talking about and video essays about you,
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna see that,
That
and
puts
then
a lot
you
of
got
pressure
people
on
who
you.
look at it, right, and you see in the millions of views, thousands of views that's going under there. You're gonna go, whoa, hold on, wait a minute,
Yeah.
let me.
All right, y'all, let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous, okay? It's called horribledesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy, outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out horribledesigns.com. At horribledesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out horribledesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, "Are you staring at my ass?" with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, "Are you staring at my beaver?" with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, horribledesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show.
Let me watch this.
And even if you don't pay attention to it as an artist, on her level, her management may be like, her PR team may be like, whoa, okay, hey Taylor, we got to do something about this.
I was watching an interview.
You know,
yeah, because I was watching an interview. I was watching it was her and her dad. And that's what I was saying, that when Trump started, she started going off because her dad was trying to be like, well, you know, we got to keep it on an even kill thing like that, right? And she's like,
yeah, just keep
no,
it even
Dad.
Playing.
Yeah. And she was like, no, Dad, I can't. She's like, this man is
right.
She was totally in tears.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so for that reason, you know, like, and we've touched on this actually before in the one of our episodes where we're music and politics. If you guys haven't, go check that one out.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And I had stated that it's difficult for us to not have feelings, especially when it comes to human rights. You know what I'm saying? And being that we're voices in music, what do you think people are going to want us to do? Yeah, we get our few people. It depends on what genre you're in, right? That'll be like, oh, just stick to the music, the whole shut up and dribble mentality. But for the most part, no. Your fans, when they see injustice and they are a part of you, and they may be of another marginalized group, especially if you are a white artist and you are popping like that, guess what? You're going to be their voice. So whether you like it or not.
And that is one good point. But like, I see it like the biggest point in my perspective is when you get to a certain level, no matter how big the level is, if you have people who are fanatical about you, whether it's 1,000, 1,000,000, 10 million, whatever, you are their leader.
Yeah.
And so if you break from what you're known as, then you look funny to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, like, if you betray their idea of you and what they have in their head of you, then it puts into question whether or not they should still be following you.
Yep. That's
right?
Crowd psychology. Yeah.
There's that. Yeah. But it's not even that. And it's not even having to do with, oh, you got a different political viewpoint than I do. It's not necessarily about that. If you're not politically active on the regular as an artist, and then all of a sudden you do, you're like I said, I mean, you're going to have people questioning, are you legitimate about this?
Well, yeah, especially depends on what it is. Yeah.
It could be all kinds of things. Yeah. But people will be questioning, do you feel legitimately about this? Or are you just doing it because your management said, hey, read this cue card real quick, right? Type of thing, right? Let's save face. Or that you're going to see people think that. You're also going to have some people that may just straight disagree with you on that. And then that may be like the cutting point. Oh, I don't want to support somebody I don't agree with on that topic, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got those two things. So honestly, I hate to say this, but I think Drake's got it right by not getting involved. Yeah, you're going to have people that hate you for not getting involved, but then you just flop another D pick out on the line and people forget that you didn't get involved in the last movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People, put some bows in your hair or whatever. People start talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You drop another song. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop being disrespectful. Drop another song. How about that? People stop forgetting about what you just didn't do.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. As an artist, you know, if you make music about mental health or whatever your brand is all about, rocking out, dark metal Satanism, fucking whatever,
Yep.
R&B love and making and shit and baby making music, whatever your music is about, what you stand for as a brand, you just got to kind of keep going with that. And if you start trying to follow with any trends, doesn't whether it's political or not, right? Let's take politics out of it because that's like a
That's
dueling.
easy. That's a lazy.
That's
kind of
easy,
lazy
yeah.
one.
You want to talk about just having the mic hanging in your music video. The thing that drives me up a fucking wall that's a trend right now. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Everybody knows that's fake. Everybody knows that's not plugged in. How is that a thing? And how is it still going? Or like me and KP have talked about with podcasters holding their mic when they had previously had a mic stand.
Leave our guys alone.
I'm not talking
that.
about just them, motherfucker. You know that. I'm talking about a lot. Okay, I saw a podcaster, not anybody that we know, who had a pin mic that pins onto your shirt.
Lavalier mic.
Lavalier mic, yeah. He was holding it in front of his face.
I do notice that one too. I'm just like, why?
That's what I'm saying. It's a trend to hold your mic instead of have it on something. You got a goddamn lavalier mic or whatever the hell it's called that's supposed to pin onto your shirt and pick up your voice. Or you have a condenser mic like me that's on a fucking... I'm gonna break my shit. So for those y'all listening, I'm fucking around with my shit, but it's on an actual boom stand. KP's got like a desk stand type of thing too, like a boom stand, right? And then all of a sudden, it's a trend to hold your mic on the podcast. And so then everybody let's get rid of that and do that. What? No, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
and so
I'm not down with that one either.
Yeah, and so it can go from politics all the way to just holding your mic that's not supposed to be held, right? Like stupid shit
that
like
even
that
becomes political, which is fucking crazy.
And that could,
that
could,
right?
But then it also could be like, oh, like this person, if they're just following that trend, what other trends are they just following? Do they even believe anything they're saying? Or are they just regurgitating? Like my favorite guy, fucking Curtis King. He's been accused by more than just me, but I am the most popular person to say it. But of him just regurgitating other people's shit and spinning it out as his own. You know what I'm saying? He's been accused of that. You know what I'm saying?
And I know people, that.
I know people. Yeah. So I was talking to somebody. I don't know if he wants me to say this out loud, but I was talking to somebody offline about my feelings with Curtis King. It was so and so. Whenever he sent me that video and I went off, I get upset because all of a sudden he's put his music back online. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say dude's name who told me this, but
really.
Remember. I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember you. You told me. Okay,
I was getting all pissed off because he's putting his music back online, but having a call to action at the end of it. And I'm like, yo, we've been saying that the whole fucking time we were doing this goddamn show. Especially whenever Curtis King said that he was taking his music off of stream passer. I'm like, no, leave it on. Put a call to action at the end. Now all of a sudden he's like, oh, I got a hack. I'm like, fuck you, bare minimum, you stole it from me. Yeah, I can at least say it because when you took your music off, I was saying don't. So and nobody knows who I am, but fuck you. Right. But anyway, when so-and-so that we know, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if he wants to say this, but whenever when I got told about that or whatever, I'm like, man, fuck that motherfucker. I know he didn't take my idea, right? There's odds are that he's not watching my goddamn podcast. But like, and he was like, oh no, man, like he probably didn't hear your shit, but he's been accused many times over years that I've been watching him of stealing other people's shit and regurgitating and just following along with whatever's trending at the moment and just talking about that and putting out content for it. And I was like, really? I was like, I don't follow dude. He's like, no, I've been following dude for a couple of years. And he does that often. I'm like, oh, okay. So whatever it is, if you're not...
The more you know.
The more you know too. Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to building a brand of anything, like even me and KP here talking, about music marketing and stuff. Yeah, we may switch our ideas from, fuck streaming to, wait, hold on, you need streaming to, hey, if you're going to do streaming, have a call to action at the end, to, hey, if you're going to have streaming, only put out, like, we change our ideas about things as things progress.
Now,
Where,
one thing about me is that I've always stuck with the fact from when we started that I've always said that streaming is a promotional tool and should be treated as such. No more, nothing more, nothing less.
Absolutely. And when, back in 2021, when I first started creating my course that was called Apex Music System, that I ended up just changing my whole company to called Apex Music System, that was my thing, was only put out music on streaming platforms that you've already tried shopping to your fan base on your email list first. You know what I'm saying? So your fan base on your email list, they get the new music, and the streaming platforms get the old shit. You have a call to action at the end telling people, hey, if you want a free download of this song, because if it's already on streaming platforms, give it to them for free download, because if not, they're just going to listen to it on streaming platforms, and you're going to get a little bit of penny here, a little penny there, and then you tell them, hey, if you want a free download of this that you can listen to offline and don't have to worry about paying, whoever you listen to, Spotify, Apple, whatever, go to my website. You can get all my music you find on streaming platforms, absolutely free download, digital download, right? Well, once they do that, then they get on your email list and you're like, hey, I got some unreleased music right here. You can get it for $5. You can get my whole EP or whatever, right? My whole brand new 7-track EP for $5 or whatever right now. Digital download, 100% yours. You'll have it before anybody else has it, right? Obviously, you go and make sure that you copyright and register your music before you start sending it out to people, right?
Please do.
Yeah, I mean, you should do that before you put it on streaming, but if you're going to be selling stuff before it's on streaming, before it's on distro, you should probably do that as well, too. That way, if somebody takes your shit and puts it out and tries claiming it, you can at least hit them on that, blah, 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 business talking. But, yeah, we have been saying that, this whole time. Yeah, fuck yeah, KP, you were saying like episode 2 or something like that, right? And we may, I mean, shit, bare minimum, Curtis King and like a lot of other people were having this trend back in like fall of last year or something like that of, oh, fuck streaming platforms, I'm taking my music off. And me and KP were up here like, no, don't. Right. So we weren't following trends. Right. We may change our minds on things as things progress, but we're not following trends. So we can stay consistent. Excuse me. But whenever you are an artist or you're a brand of any kind, you have to stay consistent. Even as you evolve, you can't look like you're following a trend. And so that's basically what I was getting off of this video from what they were saying, but then also from me and KP's own thoughts on this topic of trend jacking or news jacking, because they can be two different things. News jacking is taking a news of the day, right? Like, okay, so like this one company I was talking with a few weeks back, when not to get too deep in politics, but when Biden dropped out of the race, right? They're like, oh, Biden just dropped out of the race. We got to strike while the iron's hot. And I'm like, how are you going to strike while the iron's hot when this artist's new song that's getting ready to release is talking about asking a girl if you can touch her ass? Like, how does that have anything to do with Biden dropping out of the race? Maybe if Trump got accused of grabbing somebody's ass, you can run with it like that, right? But like, Biden just dropped out of the race. How are you going to see why the iron's hot? And so they started running this thing, vote for, and then they put the artist name in there or whatever, right? And I'm like, okay, you're clearly just trying to clout chase off of some current events. You're newsjacking. Like, that's what the fuck? That's stupid. This artist is nothing political at all, ever. And now all of a sudden they want to have some kind of campaign style looking thing, right? See, look at KP's reaction, right? Exactly. And so, all right, y'all. I just want to take a quick break right here to tell you about something hot and spicy. And no, I'm not talking about that Latina thing that you saw on Tinder the other day. I'm talking about hot sauce. And not just any hot sauce, but Tennessee Hot Sauce Co. All right? I personally know the owner of Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, and I've seen him grow this company from just something that he would sell a few bottles at the local farmer's market to something that can ship all across the United States now, all right? And you guys have a unique opportunity right now to save 20% by using the code MMCPOD when you check out on any order over at Tennessee Hot Sauce Company's website. All right, that's tnhotsauceco.com. Make sure y'all go check them out and use the code MMCPOD over at checkout and save 20%. You guys got to check this out. All right, they have all kinds of great flavors. My personal favorite is poblano jalapeno. It has a mild kick to it because I'm a little bit of a bitch when it comes to spices, but it has great flavor. I put it on all kinds of stuff. I put it on steaks. I put it on burgers when I'm cooking them. I put it on tacos and enchiladas, stuff like that as well too. But I've tried many of these other flavors like the garlic habanero and the honey habanero, the blood orange ghost, and the pineapple habanero. Now, the pineapple habanero was one that really snuck up on me because it had a great sweet flavor of the pineapple, and it wasn't nothing overbearing, but it had a very good flavor to it. And then all of a sudden, boom! I got hit in the ass with a habanero, and I had to go grab some milk, all right? But these are some great flavors, and they have all kinds of different options. They have the collection, which has the full lineup of all 6 of their most popular sauces. They also have different subscription boxes. You have a 3-sauce option, a 4-sauce option, yearly and bi-yearly options is available as well too for the boxes. Then you also have all kinds of other new flavors that they have that I've never tried yet. I actually got to get that shipment in here soon of the barrel-aged whiskey and the mustard dill scorpion. Those are 2 that look very interesting, and I want to try them out. One thing I did try is one of their new options that they have here, which is the poblano jalapeno beef jerky. But like I said, I love the poblano jalapeno sauce, and whenever I tried this jerky, no bullshit, I ate the whole bag before I can even sit down and shoot this promo right here, all right? And so luckily, I know the owner, like I said, so I got another bag on the way, but y'all gotta go check it out. And he also told me they got some more flavors coming out of the jerky as soon as they get operations up and running on that brand new venture right there, all right? So again, make sure y'all go over tnhotsauceco.com, use promo code MMCPOD at checkout and save 20% on your order. And on top of that, orders $50 and over are free shipping in the United States. So again, make sure you go check this out. Small batch, small brand, but powerful flavors. Tennessee Hot Sauce Company. Now, let's get back to the show. So, if you're making trap and club music, and all of a sudden you got a post out that's like, oh, vote for so and so, and I'm like, but it's not election time.
That makes me think of fucking Boondocks, dude. When Thugalicious.
Yeah,
Thugalicious go start getting into voting and talking about.
Yeah, Thugalicious was hilarious. That was a hilarious skit overall for that, man. But yeah, Boondocks was great, man.
Great.
That last season was kind of like getting a little close to falling off. It's like they had gotten like a little overworked or something like that. But a good thing can't last forever, unfortunately. But
man,
Boondocks.
They got us prepared for. They talked about stuff we were like, damn.
Hmm.
Right.
Boondocks was pretty slow. Yeah, it was pretty dope, man. I remember watching it when I was in Iraq on DVD. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it was cool stuff. But yeah, like
let's go ahead and check out the video so that way people know what the hell we're talking about.
Check out the video.
The circa full. Did you? Oh, you didn't want to watch? You didn't want to?
Oh, no. I was going to put it down below and people can check it out later.
Okay, yeah, because that is a long-ass video.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes, bro. No, we were just going to talk about it. But yeah, if you guys want to go check it out, go check it out. It's pretty good. You get to see the animatron Jack and then his buddy Circa over there talking about stuff. But no, like that's the way I see it. Like sometimes you got to go with the trends, like what we were talking about on last episode whenever we were talking about virality, or no, 2 episodes ago we were talking about virality when we were going over Wordplay TJ's video. There's a spot in there. I was just doing the clips here recently, so I remember it. But there's a spot in there whenever I'm like, hey, look, you got to go with some of these new features and new platforms and stuff like that and test them out bare minimum. Because, yeah, they could be Periscope or Clubhouse, or they could be TikTok. You know what I'm saying? They could fall into obscurity after a year, or they could be the place to go.
Right.
And if you take advantage of all those things while you can, then that's going to be best for you. Now that is different from trend jacking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Trend jacking is a little different.
Can we show just a couple? Can we just show a clip of it right quick? Because I think people would.
What part?
The part where I think the beginning was pretty good. Because I mean, that's where you can see him being like the android. But but I think the first part was really good. The opening was really good when they like the first. I would say the first. I want to say the first 8 to 10 minutes was really good. Because it kind of like they really got in. They dug in pretty quick.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and
yeah, just to give.
I'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen right here. Alrighty. Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and play a little bit of this here real quick, and yeah.
Cast brought to you by Entrepreneur.io.
I don't know how they get away with playing that. They must have bought the
they
rights.
They got dog. Those man, we're talking about Jack and Circa, bro. They're fucking you.
Yeah, I mean, Circa makes enough money to buy an android and name him Jack. So,
what's up, Indies? Welcome back to the Creative Juice podcast. This is episode 300.
I can't not see Lego Man hair on this motherfucker now. I can't watch any more of his videos. I can only listen to his videos now to get the information. I can't watch them. Look at it. It looks like it's like clip on. You can take it off and put a mohawk on him or something. You can take it. I'll put a hard hat on next, you know?
Oh my God,
we're going to talk about trends, music marketing, and how to leverage trends and how not to leverage trends and the news to promote your music, to engage your fans, and to grow your fan base. I'm your host, Jack McCarthy, and with me, as always, is Circa. And I think this is going to be a really interesting discussion, something we haven't talked about on the show before. You and I have, I think, similar and also diverging viewpoints on this that'll be fun to talk about. And generally speaking, it's a question that I've gotten a lot over the years when I'm talking to artists and bands about things going on social media. Social media is kind of an extension of like humans communicating and talking to one another. And so when things are happening in the news, in the world, in their local communities, I've gotten questions from artists that are like, oh, XYZ political thing is happening, and I have a song that's about that. How can I promote it? How can I talk about this?
That's what you were talking about earlier.
Right. And so that part right there, I kind of skimmed out a little bit of that, his beginning intro, but that part right there that he's talking about, right, I agree with. You know, when he's like, hey, this just happened and I have a song about that. How can I leverage that? Well, leverage the fuck out of it. Like, especially if the song's already out. You know, if the song's not already out, drop it as soon as possible. Yeah, okay. But like, if you have a song that's already about something and then that something kind of, you know, something about that happens already, then capitalize on it because you're already about that shit. It's when something happens and then you want to create a song about it or create some content about it to jack a movement or ride a wave. That's where I have issues personally. Right. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally feel you on that.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like you were going to say something. I got a question though. Why the fuck does he need so many goddamn guitars? He's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That is the straight up dude. I have one, which means I'm not a guitar player. Okay, but
so like, if you have 9, you're a guitar player.
Bro,
sounds like he's got bad spinning habits.
No, my dude. Guitar players have guitars. Well, also because different tunings. And you don't want to always tune the same guitar. You don't want to keep tuning your same guitar like in the different tunings because it throws it screws it up. So that's why a lot of guitar players, like true guitar players, have a lot of guitars. Like bass players, they have a lot of basses.
That's like 10 G's right there.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
Well, it depends on it depends. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
but
he could have stolen them. That's true.
Oh my. I don't think Jack is still
going on that's really, you know, important to me, and there's a lot of people talking about it right now. How do I use my music video to capitalize on that? Questions like that come up.
Now that question I would need more detail on that. The way he said it though is there's this social cause that's important to me. Okay, positive. How do I make my music video incorporate into that? Well, if you already got the music video out, I don't know how you'd reincorporate that. But it goes back to the first thing. Are you always talking about social causes that are personal to you? If so, rock with it. If this is the first time, I don't know if you want to roll that dice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be a pop, it could be a flop. How do you want to rock with this? Do you want to just keep rocking out and fucking hailing Satan in your music, or do you really want to hop on this bandwagon that you've never hopped on, or whatever whatever your brand is? You know what I'm saying? Do you really want to go from club tracks to fucking talking about politics?
Right.
Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. Jeezy did it when he came out with the song "My President Is Black." He hopped on the thing when everybody was all hyped in 2008 about Obama getting elected, right?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, I voted for a dude back then too, but like,
but here's the thing:
he was never He was never political before that.
Hip hop, but at the same time, hip hop is a lot of hip hop is based around politics. So
to an extent, yeah.
No, not to an extent. It is based around politics because you got to think about where it came from, right? So with that, and why hip hop came about is because they were speaking out about certain things that were going on in the neighborhood, that sort of thing. Also, they were talking about, just trying to break away from what was going on in the hood. But it also brought people together. That's why they talked about, politics of remember the Message, right, from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. I remember Street Justice, a song. It was we gotta beat the punks on the battle funks. We gotta beat the punks. Street Justice, right? Self-destruction. We're all in the same gang. Hip hop has always had a tie with politics because there was a lot of youth, a lot of the younger black adults and youth that were asking questions like, why was Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King assassinated? Why are we in these goddamn conditions? Even like around the 70s, Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder started becoming more political. That's why we heard living just enough for the city and what's going on in inner city blues. We started hearing those songs because that's when stuff started getting really rough. Plus, they were talking about the riots that happened in Detroit and things like that as well.
And the LA riots too. That was where NWA came from, right around, and they started popping up around that time too, I think, right? Yeah,
even
no,
the Watts riot, like they. Well, what I'm saying is, like around that time, the Watts riot. See, a lot of hip hop heads were asking questions about. A lot of people were asking questions about that stuff within the 80s and stuff like that, which Run DMC came out when they came out with Hard Times and It's Like That, right? They were talking about that stuff. So they were hip hop already had that political stance because of the civil rights movement, because of Black history. So that's why,
true, but Jeezy never was about that until that song.
Right, but that's
kind of what I was getting at. I'm not talking about hip hop as total, right?
Right, but at the same time, yeah, he was speaking on the president being black because at the same time, he still had an obligation as a black man speaking out about that because the stuff that he was talking about was the street politics that were going on in Atlanta, in Georgia, right? So yes, when that happened, it was one of those things because President Obama was on the Source magazine. He was on the cover of it.
Yeah, he was like the first rock star president is how they were basically
well, he was the first hip hop president.
What? Yeah, they said he had like a rock star like celebrity to him is what I'm saying. Like not necessarily like, AC/DC, but I'm talking about like he was like his celebrity was more than just a political celebrity. It had like a rock, pop, hip hop star, whatever star quality to it. Yeah. Like it hadn't been seen before. Just
definitely
like,
a pop culture,
culture
iconicalism, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It was a totally different thing, And so like I remember whenever it came out, I was cranking it. You know, my president is black, my rims are too, and I'll be goddamn. Or sorry, my president is my black, my Lambo too, and I'll be goddamn if my rims ain't too. Right? I get it, but like, looking back on it, I'm like, yeah. I mean, he had that song. He had the whole album called The Recession. He was talking about how times hard and everything like that. It's the recession, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. But like you said, he was always talking about the hustle and grind and the street elements and stuff like that.
And that had a lot to do with politics, though, because you got to deal with the judge, because you're dealing with the law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it fit. Mm-hmm. But I think when Nas made his song about it, I think it went it fit a little bit better. Because
because you're thinking about it from New York, from a New York perspective, and a lot of New Yorkers were very much into that political hip hop style. Right,
well,
they were talking
and
about
Nas has always been about that kind of stuff.
And knowledge, about being Asiatic and all. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of like I'm trying to draw like a similarity between those two, where like, yeah, Jeezy was talking about street life politics type shit. However, he was never on like politics until that point, whereas Nas was kind of like always on street life and politics type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a little different.
Yeah, but and Jeezy's more was about the fact that it's a black president. Like, hell yeah, nigga, we got a black.
Oh yeah, no, he was. Yeah,
that
I mean,
was
I'm
more,
sure.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
no, but what I'm saying, I see what you're saying. He was more on that, whereas like Nas would have looked more from an analytical standpoint, as well as being from a racial standpoint. But it would have been more of an
Jesus
analysis.
More celebratory,
right? Yeah, but with Jesus, it's like hell yeah.
It was more of a celebration.
Yeah,
which, it was fine. Like I said, I used to rock that song too. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
but
but I can totally see where you're coming from. Like when it comes to the the way they went about it. Like totally, there's totally a difference.
And kind of like what Jack just did, without even really noticing, he had he said two different examples that are opposite. Is, hey, this thing just happened and I already have music out about it. How do I capitalize on it? Versus, hey, this thing just happened that I'm really involved in. How do I create music around it? It's like, well, you've never done it. So it's a gamble. We can do it if you want. If it music is an expression of your internal self and an external noise. You know what I'm saying? So like, we can do it. You can do it. As your marketer, I'll help you fucking figure out a way.
Yeah, man. If you need help with writing the song, you help with writing
the song.
Exactly.
Yeah. You create. I can tell you. I'm saying you create. I'll help a little bit here and there if you want, but like,
no, I can help him. I can help you definitely do that, man.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's like, okay, cool. Well, like it's a gamble though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you've always been about that and then it happens, boom, done. Yeah. And so just like when Trump got shot and 50 Cent started trending with his song Mini Men, right? That was a perfect opportunity for 50 Cent to capitalize on that time, which he did, which he tweeted, hey, Trump got shot and now I'm trending. What the fuck? And then he retweeted a picture of 50 Cent's album cover with Trump's face on it. And then he even later on that night performed the song Mini Men at a concert with that picture of Trump imposed on his thing to it. He rode that on a song that already came out by getting shot. So he rode a trend that was already there. He didn't really jump on it. He just said, yo, what's up? Essentially. That's how I saw it. And
he did it differently than Chris Set Michelle did.
Okay, I don't know that reference.
Okay, Chris Set Michelle was an R&B singer, jazz R&B singer, beautiful singer, man. And when Trump first got into office, she sang at one of his inaugurations.
Okay.
And the black community was really upset with her, especially with the type of audience that she attracts.
Okay.
In fact, Brother Question and a couple other people, Question from the Roots.
Oh, Questlove.
Questlove, yeah. They begged her not to go in there. In fact, I think Questlove was going to pay her.
Pay her not
to go on there because
that's interesting. Yeah.
This is because they knew for her and the type of audience that she has, it would be career suicide. She's an R&B singer. She's a soul singer. That's career suicide.
All right, y'all. I just want to hop in here again real quick. Yes, I know again, but you know what? We rock with a lot of people here, and a lot of people rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast. So I got to tell you about all these great people, all right? And this one right here, right now, is Mad K Studios, all right? Go check them out, madkstudios.com. Mad K is a dope artist, man. This guy can draw or paint almost anything, okay? He really specializes in, like, portrait arts for memorialization of your favorite car or a family member or a loved one or something like that. All right. Full commission artwork, no copy and paste shit or nothing like that. All right. Custom designs. If you want it, make sure you go hit up madkstudios.com for your custom art piece. And you can even go check out some of the pieces that he's done for freelance and stuff like that. And you can also get it on a shirt. He's got coffee mugs and mouse pads and all kinds of other decorative pieces of artwork that you can go and check out as well too. So if you're a connoisseur of art, you're looking for a nice piece of knickknack or something like that around the house, or if you want a custom artwork designed for a loved one or something that's cherished in your life that you want memorialized in an actual painting, a real painting, make sure you go check out madkstudios.com. Let them know Harco's over at Music Making Sense Podcast sent you. All right, let's get back to the show. Yeah, I mean, especially just getting involved in politics at all as being like an R&B soul singer, that might be, might be a gamble. It doesn't matter what it is, but yeah, that makes sense.
No. Specifically, no. For real. Okay, that was because you got to think about the type of audience that she. I'm saying she has a predominantly Black woman audience, right? These are strong Black women who have that. They got that. They got that. Oh no, honey, we are not trying to go with Trump. We're grown and sexy over here, but we vote Democrat. We go Kamala Harris. They have that. We go Kamala Harris, right? You don't go with the enemy type of mindset. These are the type of sisters that she really does. That she really attracted. Strong Black women, right? They're not gonna fall. They trying to go for Trump, they're not going to go for it. But if it was Kamala Harris, now they're going to be down. Right? See, so it truly depends on who you are targeting. Now with 50 Cent, because 50 is the type of person, and to rap,
he's a troll.
But also rappers have been kind of allies of Trump since way before his presidency. Because remember, who was it?
Everybody had a song. I'm on my
pretty
Trump
much
shit.
everybody had something about Trump in their song about being Trump type. Trump this.
Because he was a billionaire,
Trump.
Flashy. Black
Thank
Trump.
you.
Yeah, it was all about being flashy and like because his hotels would be so gaudy. Like it was ridiculous,
Look who he attracted. He attracted. Pardon my expression, y'all. Excuse me, as a Black man, but he attracted the niggas. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
You don't have to preface.
No, I mean, but I'm just saying because I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to get.
And see, that's the thing. It's like his whole thing. Even the Apprentice, it was all like, "I'm the big boss. Fuck you. You're fired. Get the fuck out of my face." You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit. Exactly. All that stuff. Yeah, and then once he got in politics, it's like everything's turned on its head, which makes you wonder about some things, but like psychology wise. But no,
but
like
look at,
so like what you said, whenever that lady, sorry, I can't remember her name.
Chrisette Michelle.
Yeah, where Miss Michelle, she went and sang at Trump's thing. She wanted to, on a personal level, for whatever reason, whether it was money or ideology, she wanted to go do it. Okay.
Yeah.
And she had a bunch of people in her fan base and stuff like that turning against her for doing something she personally wanted to do. And that could go the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? You could, I mean, like it didn't have to be Trump. It could have been anything else. Right. And if you as an artist want to do something and you see your fan base go against you on it, if you really stand for it, you got to grab your balls or your tits, whichever one you got, or if you got both, do whatever. But you got to grab them and just ride it out. Because if you really believe in it, you need to stand firm on your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a part of being authentic. That is one of the most important roles of being authentic. Is that just like, you got to stand 10 toes down on what you believe, whether people love you or hate you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I say, unless you're a political artist from the get, or at
Yeah.
least relatively from the get, don't talk about brand new news in politics or cultural shit when it pops up. You know what I'm saying? Just pull a Drake and just slide a D pic in somebody's DM and move on with your day. You know what I'm saying? because it could be suicide like Miss Michelle, or like fucking, and we could keep going on for an hour about different people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can.
It could end up being career suicide. It could, or people could forget about it later, or you may have people in your ear being like, no, it's career suicide, and you do it and you actually double your fucking fan base. You know, I mean, it could
It
go
definitely
either
has
way.
an effect.
It could
It will
go
have an
either
effect.
way. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
go either way. And so
Yeah.
you need to be prepared. Hey, like I said, it's a roll of the dice. All right,
Yeah.
do you want to roll this dice? Because it could flop or it could pop. You know what I'm saying? Because Miss Michelle, she could have lost 75% of her fan base, or she could have doubled her fan base.
Yep.
I mean, and until it happened, you never know, you know. And then
True.
time will tell on if her fan base comes back when she drops another song 4 years later or something, you know, or 3 years later or something, you know. But yeah, so like in total, I think we're hitting up on time here because we already did 20 before our glitch and it's been 35. So, but yeah, here, you know, in total, we're not gonna keep going further because we're running up on time. But check out that video.
Yeah.
We only did like a minute of the video, but go check it out. You know, Mr. Lego Man Hair. He's got some good points on some shit. I can't not sit. I can't not sit.
I'm not sitting here saying I'm not. It's just funny because this motherfucker he just look, y'all. Let me just be this guy. Look, man, some of the stuff my man Hark be saying, I be like, I gotta grow an ear on my forehead. Like, man, I do not want to hear this. Okay, y'all.
Exactly.
But I can't help but laugh because from a comical standpoint, and the fact that I'm big in I love comedy, and that's something that they touched on as well about being comedic and how to use it in your music, right?
Like 50 did.
Yeah, like 50
He
did, right?
has a comedy to him. He's always trolling.
He's
so
very
for
comical.
him just to perform Many Men with
Yeah.
Trump's picture behind him, fucking priceless. What I think would have been even more priceless if 50 would have done, if he would have actually had the picture from when Trump got up with the bloody ear with his hand in the air. If he would have done it to that would have went even crazier online. But it was funny how he used an imposed face of Trump over his thing. That was pretty funny too. And then, oh, dude, the memes were crazy that weekend. Ooh,
Yeah,
man, the memes were crazy that weekend.
They were off the charts.
They were
dude.
off the charts, man. Did you see I saw one where, you know, on the movie Get Rich or Die Trying that 50 came out with way back?
Yes.
So like in that, at the end of the movie, when he comes out on stage and he takes off his bulletproof vest and drops it, and then he starts rapping or whatever. So I saw a clip of that where he takes out the vest, and as it shows his face, it's Trump's face imposed over. I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Like they were going bananas. But yeah, using comedy, he's a troll, so he kind of rolled with it and trolled with it, right?
Yep.
And he wasn't necessarily coming out pro or against Trump. He was like, hey, this motherfucker got shot. The internet's going crazy. Let me fucking get some extra streams out of it, because he probably made tens of thousands of dollars that day because somebody else got shot.
Because it got like what, 10 million streams, something like that.
At least, I mean, just think about all we went over this. I think it was me and Capone actually that day that your video fucked up. But me and Capone went over, like, you get between 1 and 3 cents per 10 videos or something like that. I don't know. You get paid per video that's created on TikTok that uses your music on top of X amount of streams for it as well too. So like you gotta think all the videos that were created on TikTok alone with that song from the TikTok library, this motherfucker made some bank.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
And that's the thing about, to me, that's why, honestly, guys, like when you do these type of tactics, right? Like with and I feel like they work in your favor. Here's why, okay? Especially in this day and age. You're able to put the music to something. It's attached to a product. It's attached to a visual. right? A piece of content. Okay. This is why in this day and age, so many people decided that, hell, I can start putting out music because within 10, 20 years down the line, it's still online, and we keep doing, and we're still able to stream. Guess what? Somebody picks up that song, that's a trend. It's gonna trend.
And
It's
the
gonna
crazy
go.
part about that is that song came out in the early 2000s, and the people
That's
using
my
that
point.
song, the people using that song to create the content on TikTok weren't even alive.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's what's hilarious about it. I'm
That's
sure
the-
there's a
and that's
lot of
the
people
biggest-
in our age range that were making these videos with it, but the people who probably started it may not have been, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's
Well,
exactly
just put it
what
like
you
this.
said.
There's a gang of people. Put it like this. There's a gang of people who use it from different age ranges, walks of life, and all walks of life, pretty much.
Yep.
Right. So, but that right there, that's why to me, it is a way we have more of an advantage. If you stop looking at the streaming platform as a quick hustle, and you think that the first song you drop is gonna go viral. No, you can't think like that. And that's why if you are gonna be, if you're gonna use tactics like this, like you're gonna be using current events, comedy, trending topics, right? Anything like that, yes, you have to. There's a technique to this, and let me actually explain it before we go, because we got a little bit of time, but I want to drop this knowledge to you guys, okay? How you want to be able to approach that is, number one, you need to be knowledgeable of the topic you're dropping.
That's
Number two, you
that's
need to
most
be
important. I'm glad you put
most
that one.
important.
Yeah.
Number two, you need to be passionate about it. Like, you have to give a damn about it, because if you're inauthentic about it, people are not going to fuck with you on it. Number three, okay, you have to understand the concept, right? Because you also can go a conceptual route with this as well, right? And I think in some cases, if you're the type of artist who doesn't stand 10 toes down on issues, or you're one of those people who you are about issues, but you necessarily don't like to make a scene about it, or it's not so much, you don't want to make it a brand, right? Then this is a great way for you to use it conceptually.
Yep.
Right? Great way. In fact, I think it's one of the best ways to do it, because what you're able to do, and comedically, because what you're able to do is that you're able to be lighthearted, it's compassionate, it's caring, and people are going to be more approaching to it like, oh, you know what? Wait a minute, man. Now thinking about it, I could go this route, right? Or you could get them to think about it, right? Or get them to or react to it, or take action, right?
Yep.
So those are the three things I want to say that you definitely, if you do use current events, new politics, dealing with issues like human rights, civil rights, and comedy, yes, go at it with, number one, make sure you're make sure you know what you're talking about, have knowledge on it, okay? Do your research. Number two, if you're going to be authentic about it, be prepared to be loved and or hated.
You're gonna get both.
You're going to get both.
That's how I mean, we're tribal creatures. That's how divisive the internet has amplified us. Like, I hear people say all the time, real quick. Hear people saying, "Oh, the internet's made it more divisive." No, I agree with what Gary Vee says about the internet, where the internet has just amplified humans. It's a representation of humanity. Oh, it's so divisive. Yeah, so are we. Have you ever been at a dinner table with fucking somebody on opposite political views from you? Like, you don't have to be online for that shit. That's real life. Fuck. You know.
And I know,
But,
and I'm
yeah.
saying this as a friend of who had been around a lot of white families.
Mhm.
Dude, you can cut that shit with a knife, okay?
Mhm.
And I'm just saying that just from the of seeing how that shit went down. It
Yeah.
goes on in every other family now, mind you. But what I'm saying, but just as intense as Marco said it, I
Mhm.
can vouch that for the fact I've seen it with
Mhm.
white American families, okay?
Yeah, it
I
will happen
have.
with a lot of
And
people,
it-
man. You
no,
could be
no,
all
right,
this,
right,
you
right.
could be all the same race at the dinner table, and if
Oh, no,
one
no,
is
what
for
I'm
one thing
saying
and one is
no,
against it,
yeah. Oh no, I said,
Yeah.
like I said, I've seen it happen. It definitely happens in households of color
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
Trust me. But what I'm saying is that when I've seen it with my seeing it from the outside, being in the table
Mhm.
at the table with a predominantly white family and things
Seeing them
where
go back and forth.
I mean going and
Oh,
it
okay,
was
I
like,
thought you were talking about something else, but yeah, seeing them go back and
whoa,
forth, you're like,
yeah,
holy shit, yo,
like,
that's
oh my
brothers, man. Like,
God.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got two of these brothers fighting over
Yeah,
fucking shit.
especially and again, especially when it's coming from white American. It's like it's like, oh my God, you can see the
Well, you don't think we
dynamic
argue
with
too?
that.
Fuck.
Oh no, I know that, but what I'm saying is just you can. It's definitely there's definitely a difference.
Okay.
Like there's a huge difference. Like I'm like, it's one that, like I said, I sat back and just saw for myself.
You just gotta
And
sit
number
watch,
three, right? And number three, again, think about if you don't get into stuff like that, right? Or say you are, but be conceptual. That's like what my point was, this being conceptual, looking at it from the outside, and then you're able to put together like, okay, I can see where this is coming from. And yes, I have these feelings, but let me go about it in a very creative fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Let me kind of detach myself away from it and go about it in a way where people they'll listen to it without pointing a finger at me.
Yep. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
still be able to think about it in the way however you persuade them or however they interpret your persuasion.
Absolutely. Yeah, because people are going to interpret it however they want to, not necessarily how you meant it. Absolutely. And then for the same amount of people that are going to hate you for what you say, there's going to be equal or more people that love you for what you say. I mean, so you just got to be prepared. You know, you're going to have a lot of your fan base that's going to, a good amount of your fan base that may even just be like down the middle, be like, hey, look, I still love your music. I don't care about your politics, yo. I love your music. I'm still going to support you. You may have people that are like that, like, fuck, I don't agree with everything Immoral Technique has it on his politics, you know what I'm saying? But I like his fucking music, you know what I'm saying? And, Pac, stuff like that, anybody. And so that's what it comes down to. When you're a musician, if you are always an issues-based musician, you're talking about mental health, or you're talking about politics or the government or relation, whatever it is, you're always talking about issues in your songs, then go with whatever newest issue is that touches you near and dear. But if you're an artist who is making the next catchy tune and you're all about catchy hooks and beats and shit like that, and that's what you're about, I would recommend sticking to that, because if you wander over into the issues based thing and you don't follow KP's 3 rules that he just listed right there about knowing what the fuck you're talking about, having passion about it, and being conceptual with it, you're gonna fail.
Either be authentic or conceptual.
Authentic, yeah. You got it. And either way, be authentic. I mean, you could go through our list of episodes and you could see how many times we said something with authentic in it. Like, being authentic is key to success as a musician, as an artist, especially when you're building your brand. So, like I said, when it comes to politics and stuff, be careful and be consistent. That's all I gotta say with that one too. So, but yeah, make sure you go check out Lego Man and Circa and their video for that over on Entrepreneur. I got it linked down below. It's a great video. And when it comes to me and my stupid shit that I say, it's all comedy.
Yeah.
I say shit just to make myself and KP laugh. And most of the time, I crack myself up a little bit more than I crack KP up. So
nah, I think it's pretty equal, bro.
yeah. Well, when I'm watching, when I'm doing the replay, whenever I'm editing it in post, I'm dying laughing again too. So there's that. But no, I always say stupid shit just to crack up, just to be a funny guy. And sometimes it's just retarded and it falls on his face, and sometimes it's amazing. So
it throws some sauce in It throws some sauce in there, man.
Exactly. Anyway, but we're gonna get the fuck up.
Man, let me hold on, dude. Gotta give
There we go. Good episode choice for today, as always, KP. For those of y'all who don't know, KP, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, since he is like, the YouTube master, he's always consuming content, and he finds some stuff. He's like, hey, man, let's talk about this. And sometimes he'll send it to me the day of. Sometimes he'll send it to me a few days previous. It's like whenever it hits him, he's like, yo, let's talk about this. And we start talking about it. If it, most of the time we end up talking about it and stuff. Sometimes he'll throw me a couple different things. It just depends on what kind of hits him, and that's what we talk about. So yeah, it's definitely a good episode here. And like we've been saying on the past few episodes, if there's something that you want us to talk about while you're here listening or watching the episode, make sure you drop a comment down below. Or if you're over on a platform you're listening where you can't make a comment, go to musicmakingsensepod.com. And you can leave a chat right there on the page. There's also the email down at the bottom of the page where you can send us an email. And then, of course, make sure that you sign up for our email newsletter. It's 100% free, and it's always about information, tips, and tricks and stuff like that in the music industry. It's not a sales email and stuff like that. It's like 90% informative. Down at the end, I got a little bit of a pitch, hey, you need help with this, contact us. And, if not, make sure you keep listening to the Music Makes Sense podcast. Like, it's very simple at the bottom, but like the bulk of it is about a specific topic, about something to bring more knowledge, more bits and pieces of points of information and tips and tricks to help you out as a musician or a music marketer, going through this music marketing space. So make sure you go down there and subscribe. musicmakingsensepod.com. And then again, like I said, if you want to hear anything from us, you want something specific for us to cover, make sure you send us a message on socials, send us a message on the website, put a comment down below. And yeah, do all the stuff like share, follow, subscribe, all that shit. And and then also, as I said on one of the commercials on this episode, if you need help with your music marketing and you want one of us to work with you, say that in your message. Or if you want to work with me, you can go over to apexmusicsystem.com. That's my website for all my stuff over there, where I have a lot of my own independent stuff over there that doesn't always flow over here to Music Making Sense. But appreciate every single one of y'all who tune in all the way to the end and who are repeat offenders tuning in every single week. So we appreciate both of y'all, or all of y'all. I mean, we both appreciate all of y'all is what I meant to say. Not we appreciate both you two listeners, but we got like at least 3 listeners. But at least 4. Yeah, at least 4, something like that. But appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all keep tuning in. We're gonna get the fuck up out of here until next episode. Oh yeah, Music Making Sense podcast. Yep, there you go. KP, you're not with it. Now
I think I hit it too early.
Yeah, you did. I kind of I had my volume up a little too loud, and it kind of scared me there for a second. But yeah, but either way, you were just sitting there, just barely bobbing your head to it, man. You were doing the white boy bob to it. Come on, I was the one putting motion into it. I was the one putting all the sauce into it, all the soul into this shit.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I was doing more like this.
You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. We're listening to this shit.
No, I just kind of felt bad because I hit it a little bit too early. But
anyway. Oh no, that's all good. I was basically done. It just fucking shocked me because it was loud in my ears. I had the shit turned up too loud. But anyway, y'all have a good one.
Hell yeah, holla.